just for fun, I am... Sometimes when disasters occur, I have kind of a good time looking them up for some reason, and we have a new one today. As sad as they are, it's still somehow fun for me to just kind of investigate and see what's happening. And that's what I'm going to do. So today, or maybe last night in American time, there was a pretty insane explosion in Beirut, Lebanon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But so let's see. Boom. And it literally looks like a fucking nuke. Look at these right there. The roof's like just coming off. Holy shit. Fucking hell. Okay, this one I did see, and it has some really shitty dramatic music, and I'm not gonna play it. Fucking stupid. Like, dude, what the fuck? That has to be a bomb. Like that, like you can see the fireworks and shit going off. There's fireworks there too, but that's what they were saying. That right there, that is a fucking bomb. This guy's so close, he's so dead. Fucking shit. You see the fucking roofs coming off in the building on the right? Yeah, hey, what's going on? Dude, I gotta make my thing bigger. Absolutely crazy, dude. It's insane. Yes, I have seen some Aftermath stuff, and it's insane. It's so insane. This has has to be bigger than... Oh shit, we can't show stuff with blood on Twitch, can we? By the way, welcome to the stream, Ahmed the Great Bastard. You are the greatest bastard. I just want to let you know. Explosion which occurred in the second strongest explosion in the world after the Hiroshima bomb. Lebanon is quite small. It's 10,425 meters squared. Thus, all Lebanese people have heard and saw the explosion. It's been traumatic. Oh, thanks for the follow. Hiroshima, where... Okay, so... Fucking hell. If this is the second strongest explosion in the world, that can't be true. Because during the nuclear testing days, those explosions were insane. But assuming this person is correct, then this might have actually been a nuke, because it does look like one, I guess. I mean, I don't really know. I'm not an expert on that kind of shit, but... Right, yeah, like they did say, apparently the Lebanese news was saying that it came from a ship, I guess, that had fireworks on it, so you can really see the fireworks and stuff going off. But then that massive explosion, that has to be an actual, even if it's not a nuke, like, it's gotta be a real actual war bomb. Like, it has to be a bomb. Like, there's no way that that's just like, I don't know, a condensed, concentrated explosion from fireworks. Like, that's just way too big. Like, look at that shit. No, that looks like a fucking nuke, dude. Like, look at that dome come up, and then it just rings out. And it's got like a mushroom. Is there a mushroom cloud? Look at that shit. Ooh. So you do you, is that what you think? You think it was just you think it wasn't a bomb? Look at that. And this is from far away, it looks like. Fucking insane. Jeez. There were some other pictures that I saw that looked like straight up out of Fallout, like... Oh, I haven't seen this one.
Oh my god! 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 Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! 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 Get out! Come on! Go! Go! Go!
That's super loud.
We're in the house.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait, did he just say we're gonna die?
Oh my god.
Ah, what just happened? Throughout history. 1982, 2006, 2020. These aren't from the same spots though, is it? I mean, explosions happen, so I don't really know what the point of that is. But okay. So the first rumor from the local news outlet is that... Let me just move this over here so I can actually read it. Local news outlet was that it was firecrackers, but hell no, that's some bombs right there. Yeah, okay. That's totally what I think, too. Like, that has to be a fucking bomb. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is probably bigger than... do you remember the one in China when I guess it was a gas station that caught fire and it was like really huge? That one looked crazy because it was at night, but I think this one is bigger. And if this was at night, it probably would have looked even more insane, but still, it's still totally fucking crazy. Yeah, look at that shit. Plus, at first, weren't they trying to say that there wasn't any casualties? And now all I've heard is 80. But there's got to be way more than 80. Fucking Christ. Alright, I think that there might be some blood coming up, so I might try to skip it just because I don't want Twitch to be all... trying to ban me for gore.
لا عطرة يا عطرة البناية يا عطرة انفجار نووي.
Well, okay, I mean... that shockwave, it has a pretty crazy sphere, but it's not really a mushroom cloud, though, that's coming from the center, like you would see from an actual nuke. Oh, you can see the video end just before the shockwave gets to these guys. Look at this building to the left right here. You see the glass breaking just before that video ends. See that? Fucking crazy. Really? Yeah, it looks like they're like kind of flashing, but yeah. So there was an explosion here? I don't remember. Remember the one? Do you remember the one in Russia with from the meteor? From maybe 15? That was pretty nuts. I remember that night. Like, I couldn't sleep that night. I was up all night, and then I watched Beyond the Black Rainbow, which was amazing. People probably hate that movie, but I think it's fucking incredible. And then after I finished watching the movie, I saw all this news in my feed about that. The Russian one. Oh, dude, it's pretty crazy.
Whoa!
Dude, that is so big. Every time I watch these videos of an explosion, I'm like, I have to remind myself, if I see a fucking explosion like this, even if I don't hear it or feel it, I need to fucking hide behind something because I will feel it and hear it shortly.
لا هيدا كتير هيدا. لا هلا اللي طلع كان خفيف الأول. فرقعات نارية. واو. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
No, I don't know what the building was. Maybe like in these videos where it looks like it's coming from, because from what I know, it's not coming from a building, it's coming from a ship. That's what I heard. That it came from a ship that had fireworks and stuff on it. And that... Oh my god. It's crazy. The videos where they end directly when the shockwave hits them are kind of the scariest, because it's like you feel like you feel doomed, like you feel like you're like dying as you're watching it. Do we already have some Jesus songs about it? Yeah, pray for Beirut. This is a closer one. So fucking loud. I gotta remember to actually like check my levels. I should probably be wearing headphones right now. I think right there looks pretty good. Okay. I'm better than that. I usually check my audio before I do anything, but I was just like really shocked about this, so I just wanted to like look everything up, and then I wanted to stream it so that people can look at whatever I'm looking up with me, so... Fuck. So yeah, it does look like it's coming from this building here. Can you see my cursor on the screen? Yeah. But I think it's actually coming from over here on the water from a ship. Look at that fucking fire. Holy shit. Yeah, see, it's coming from next to the building. Aw. That is upsetting. I hate seeing dead animals more than I hate seeing dead people. Come on, load. Crappy ass low resolution shit. So Trump apparently already called this an attack, just immediately assuming that it was intentional. Of course, nobody knows anything yet. It could be, but nobody knows that, and nobody in Lebanon has said that. He's just saying it, like, which is fucking idiotic. Yeah. Yeah. Animal suffering is very upsetting. This is the same one that I've watched 10 billion times, or this looks like a little different of an angle. No, it's not. Okay. That is a insane one, though. Whoosh. Okay. Similar explosion took place in Syria in 2019. Oh, yeah. Haven't seen this one. Oof, this guy is so dead. Isn't this like really close? Isn't that that? Oh shit. Does that guy on the bike stay up on the bike?
Yatra! Yatra!
What does that mean? Do you speak Lebanese? Oh. Oh. Fuck. Can you imagine that just being like, oh shit, look at all that smoke right there, and then all of a sudden you're just blown to your fucking... to the ground? Jeff Bezos better make it in it. Yeah, seriously. Dude, that guy on the bike stays up. Wow. Jeez. It's very... Oh, here's another one. I haven't seen this one.
Hey. منه ليك الدخنة كيف بعدها ليك الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله هذا شيء أشهد أن لا
God damn. Yeah, I think I read about that. It's insane. Like, they're not just not affected. I mean, they are affected by the lockdown. They're affected positively for them. And they're just fucking raking in even more money. I mean, even just today, I just spent another... God... $70 I think on Amazon. I'm helping them. I'm perpetuating, you know, the machine. Like I'm so pathetic.
بين المساجد والمنازل رباه سلم أهلها واحمي المخارج والمداخل واحفظ بلاد المسلمين.
Do they have? Is that? Do they write in Arabic in Lebanon? I guess I don't know anything about that country, but God damn me, I know. But I'm poor. And I need shit. I need the things that I need to save money on. So it's like I have to go to Amazon or Walmart. I'm just a little old airline worker, and I don't make a living wage. Oh. That split second, that frame looks like that other dude who's with him is like in the air. Right there. Oh, but I think I can see at the very end he's still standing. my god. Looks like he's got a pretty sweet camera. Say goodbye to that thing. Got like a fancy vlogging camera or something. Like a stabilizer. Bob. Stop, drop, and roll. I mean, really, I think the best thing you can do is get behind something just to at least absorb some of the shockwave. Okay, note to self, if you see massive flames and massive plume of smoke, maybe assume that there could be potentially a massive explosion following. Therefore, if you want to look and take pictures, maybe get some cover first. And then when it does explode, get the fuck down and don't just sit there watching it until the shockwave hits you. Okay, let's get that into our heads. Let's remember that so that we don't lose our eyeballs or anything else. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, if there was anybody like up doing windows or even window washers, like the guys that are up in the buckets, like doing the squeegees. So dead. So dead zoes. We are Lebanon. Some of like the most of this like simple supportive dialogue that people like to post for some reason just fucking irritates me. Like, pray for this, or like, we are this. It's like, dude, just like, you don't have to, like, just as long as you look at it and feel bad. Like, it's bad and it's fucked up. It's also fun and exciting, even if it was to happen to me, but it's also bad and shouldn't happen. Ooh, Bob's a daring dude. Aftermath footage here. Holy fucking shit. Was there anything even in this building? Like, there's like no chairs or furniture or... Wow. This one's pretty good. Pretty interesting. Huh. Saw this one. Yeah. Let's refresh this and see if there's anything new.
Two enormous explosions shook Beirut, Lebanon today. Nearly 80 people are dead and more than 3,000 wounded, but the death toll has been rising by the hour. And tonight, Lebanon's prime minister is vowing to hold responsible whoever is to blame for the explosions. Moments ago, President Trump said it was a bomb of
Let's see. Lebanon is right there. Yep. Correct. Practically wrapped around. Oh, okay. So you got Israel to the south, Jordan to the south also, then Syria pretty much is wrapped around it. And Iraq. And Iraq will not give up the Gaza Strip to the Lebanese. And Turkey. Yep. Now we know where Lebanon is. Oh my god, on the map it's Beirut explosion. I wonder if it'll show it on the satellite. Okay, so there's that big building we keep seeing, but I'm pretty sure that it came from like right here, like one of these ships right here.
Of some kind without giving details. Here's CBS's Chris Livesay.
Just after 7 p.m. local, the enormous explosion rocked the port city, sending shockwaves miles away at sea. The U.S. State Department is warning about toxic gases released in the blast, telling all to stay indoors. The source of the catastrophe? Explosive material seized years ago and stored at the port, according to the Lebanese government. But what sparked it is yet unknown. Terrorism has not been ruled out.
Houses, buildings, dead bodies in the streets, injuries. Hospitals couldn't accept more injuries and bodies because they were full. Beirut is a destroyed city. It is like a real war zone.
And tonight, the Prime Minister vowed that those responsible will pay the price. Chris Livesay, CBS News, Rome.
Yeah, if those responsible even survived that shit. Even if they, like, tried to set it and run away, I don't think they even fucking made it out of there.
President Trump react to the news out of Beirut, saying United States military officials think the explosion there was an attack. More than 60 people are dead and 3,000 injured tonight following the explosion. The president saying the United States stands ready to assist.
Yeah, I saw a couple pictures earlier that I'm trying to avoid, where some people were pretty fucked up.
A huge mushroom cloud arose in the sky above the Lebanese capital. Let's go to correspondent Trey Yingst in our Middle East newsroom. Good evening, Trey.
That stupid face of Mitch McConnell.
Good evening. As the death toll keeps rising, the Lebanese health minister says thousands are injured after this explosion in Beirut. Lebanon's interior minister says initial information indicates highly explosive material was to blame for the fire
and
blast
one
that followed. State television is specifically reporting the presence of sodium nitrate. Lebanon's prime minister spoke this evening saying there will be a price to pay and that someone will be held responsible. Images from Beirut show broken glass and splintered buildings across the city. Rescue crews continue to search for survivors at this hour. Hospitals are flooded with patients who have wounds from debris caused by the explosion. The Lebanese Red Cross has put out a desperate call for blood donations. New pictures even show people being treated in the parking lot of the city's largest hospital. The blast was felt 140 miles away in Cyprus and registered as the equivalent of a 4.5 magnitude earthquake. The international community is reacting tonight. Israel is offering aid to Lebanon despite security tension between the two countries. We're also seeing aid being offered by France, Iran, and the UK, among others. This couldn't come at a worse time for the country. We've been covering the ongoing economic disaster in Lebanon. The economy is crumbling. There are many people who are hungry, and there are now bodies in the streets of Beirut. Mike?
Trey Yang.
A massive explosion now has rocked Lebanon's capital in Beirut, reportedly killing dozens of people.
What did they say, 140 miles away people felt that?
With the latest, Trey.
Harris, good afternoon. A massive explosion has rocked the Lebanese capital of Beirut. According to Lebanese security sources, at least 10 people are dead and dozens injured. We're still gathering information on the cause of this blast. Local media reports, though, indicating this took place near a fireworks container in the Lebanese port here in the city of Beirut. The early images that we saw before this explosion took place, a large white plume of smoke, and you saw some what looked like fireworks exploding underneath it before a massive explosion took place. And to give you an example of how widespread the damage is in this situation, the airport is about 6 miles away from the port in Beirut, and it was moderately damaged. You saw images of neighborhoods this evening completely destroyed by this massive blast. Additionally, we've been seeing some images online of hospitals completely overwhelmed with victims coming in, many people with wounds from this explosion, and we'll continue to follow the latest out of this explosion in Beirut. Harris?
Trey Inks, thank you very much. We're going to appreciate it. A massive explosion.
President
bomb of some kind. It was a bomb of some kind. You know, it was an explosion from something that resembles something like a bomb. Bombs explode. I've seen bombs explode. I've seen the biggest bombs explode. This looks like a bomb. Trust me.
Coronavirus question on Lebanon. You called this an attack. Are you confident that this was an attack and not an accident?
Well, it would seem like it based on the explosion. I've met with some of our great generals, and they just seemed to feel that it was. This was not some kind of a manufacturing explosion type of event. This was seems to be, according to them, they would know better than I would, but they seem to think it was a attack. It was a bomb of some kind, yes.
Interesting.
Wow, that was very informative. Da-na-na-na. Ooh, HuffPost. Okay, this should be decent. Trillionaire by 2026. Jesus Christ. Those fucking cars flipped over. Look at that shit. Oh my god. I saw a pretty cool video that someone made with Minecraft. Putting blocks together, showing the wealth of
This is Democracy.
Certain celebrities. Democracy Now! Is really great, by the way, you guys, if you haven't seen them. Yeah, she's an old lady, but she's pretty solid. She's Minecraft wealth comparison. Yeah. So it's called Jeff Bezos' net worth scaled to the Minecraft world. So yeah, they might, I mean, yeah, they might not have the best infrastructure, but you know, I don't know. I don't know how much more devastating it would be here than there, you know what I mean? So this is $1,000. This is $10,000. This is $100,000. Average net worth in India. Average net worth in the United States. Average net worth in Switzerland. Elon Musk. is insanely wealthy. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos has more money than entire countries. Wait, what did that say at the end? People throw around numbers without realizing how much money many people actually have. This video isn't at all meant to be political, just a factual representation of net worths. Bloomberg. I am glad that Bloomberg is not our president. Yes, we'll have a country named Amazon someday. He can probably buy America. The ABC7. What do they have to say? Nothing, just looping the same video. Okay. Oh, what the hell? This one's 3 hours? Routers. Check, check. Dude, any American pays more tax than Amazon. I'm an American. I, personally, individually, pay more tax than Amazon. Because Amazon pays nothing. Good, and they should. Because everyone, like especially conservatives in this country, they hate socialism, but we have socialism for the rich. They get away with all these like bailouts, they're getting free money all the time. But then again, socialism is also paying your taxes, which I do, and they don't. They just take all of our money and get to keep all of their own money. Yep. We do have to pay taxes to use Amazon. Invested straight back into the company. What country are you in, Ahmed? Ahmed. Ugh. England, okay. Cool. England. I can't do an English accent, I'm not even gonna try. Dude, I bet you everybody... I don't think anyone survived in that building. That big building right there next to the harbor. There's no way. That blast probably went right through those windows, right through everything. Oh, there's like a bunch of sparks over there. Like in this little area right here. Well, in one of those news clips that I just watched, it did say that they think that they think it's going to be that it is toxic. Dude, everything over there is just totally destroyed. Their police sirens are exactly like America's. The guy at the end, this one I watched. Not on stream, I think I watched it before I started streaming. It's probably still burning even right now. I think it just happened like this morning for us.
كنا نازلين على الموتوسيكل لا لا لقيت كوبر هون
In 2001 for September 11th. Yeah, I was that in 2001? Or was it 99? I can't remember. But yeah, I was in high school and I was in class and we had these shitty little TVs in our class. And yeah, like I remember going to school in the morning and I was just like sitting in class and then it was somebody came over the intercom and was just like, I guess it was the principal, And he's just like, you know, sorry to interrupt all your classes and stuff, but like, we want everyone to turn on TVs to this channel because it appears that we are under some sort of historic attack or something like that, he said. And the teachers were just like, I remember my teacher was just like, what? And then just like turned the TV on, went to the thing, and it was just showing one of the buildings with smoke coming out of it. And we didn't know at all what the hell was happening. And then like you just see this plane just go and just like go into it and explodes. And like, we're all just trying to like figure out what the fuck we just saw. And I'm like, and I remember literally saying out loud, I'm like, did that plane just go into the fucking building? And I remember just like standing up and saying that. And yeah, and then like they let us go home early that day too, I think. And like pretty much everybody was just glued to the TV, just like just watching what the fuck happened. And then I remember shortly after we had the shock and awe attack. And they just played this live on TV. Of, I think, the US Air Force just bombing the fuck out of some Middle Eastern country that we thought it came from. I see all that in the sky. Ah. And when this happened, I think is when I really first started getting into watching the news, and like the whole politics thing started getting into my head. But not really until I discovered, maybe like a few years later, when I started watching Colbert. Colbert really like got me into politics and stuff, and I just kind of went from there. What do I think about the gun laws in the US? So basically what I think is, first of all, I'm like really progressive, so I guess, you know, I'm considered a radical left. I like guns. I grew up shooting, and I have one. I think that, first of all, yes, I think the world would be safer without them. Second of all, no, I don't think that doing a buyback program or taking them all back will help, because there's, especially in America, there's way the fuck too many now anyway. I think the argument that if we had no guns in the first place, and that, I think the argument is garbage when they say if we didn't have any guns in the first place that the criminals will still find them anyway, because it's possible, but the likelihood is infinitely less. So, like, the reason why we have a gun problem is because of the biggest gun advocates in the first place. If people weren't pushing gun sales and being obsessed with it, plus especially the way the right wing thinks about it is, it's like they think that it's some patriotic, heroic thing to have a fucking gun, and they think it's like the only way you can possibly defend yourself and be a man and be fucking alpha. Like, it's this mentality is fucking brain dead and toxic and stupid. But like, And as a result of these people, now everyone does need a gun because of them spreading it so widely across the country. Now so many people are fucking armed. It's like you kind of have to be now. So it's fucking annoying. So I have a .45 TS, 4595. It's also called. Yeah, like I would be, like, as much as I like shooting, and like hell, even sometimes I think it would be like, you know, I love playing shooting games. Like I've been playing Fallout 4 for the past few weeks and I am obsessed with it. And I've always been into FPSs, and sometimes I even like the idea of being a hero and shit. But it's like, I don't want it so bad that like I have to have a gun and then I'm going to throw myself into any situation where I can possibly use it. Which is like exactly what these fucking assholes like are obsessed with. Like they are obsessed with the idea of like carrying their gun, their right to carry the gun, and like they just want a fucking chance to use it so bad, or at least just to brandish it and show it off and like fucking like affect someone with it. And like I think that is like the most like toxic masculinity that exists, and I think those people are literally stupid and fucking useless. They banned bump stocks, yes. Yeah, we can't have full auto unless you have a certain license. You have to be like, you have to have a certain license that means that you're either a dealer or like in the military to have a fully automatic weapon. Like my gun looks like an assault rifle, but it's semi-auto. Like most guns here are semi-auto. Right. And because they have super strict gun laws, and what do you know, they hardly have any fucking shootings at all. And it's like the only people who have guns there are the police, if they even carry them, which I'm not sure how often they even carry them. Maybe usually, but when I was there, I don't remember seeing cops carrying guns, but I didn't really even look. They're definitely not militarized like our police are. They were not walking around with bulletproof vests on like every cop I see here does. I think that the law in Japan is that you can have shotguns, but they have to be locked in a gun safe, and you can still use them if you really need to, like in the case of like an armed home invasion. But like the mentality there is different. They are not obsessed with the idea of proving that they can defeat another armed person. That's just not in their minds like it is to people here. Yeah, due to Las Vegas, that guy who was like shooting from that hotel window. But yeah, that was the shock and awe attack, and like they just aired it on TV here when that whole thing went down. Did I not watch this Guardian? Go back to this explosion. It looks like it has some extra stuff. They're more obsessed with Pokemon, which is great, yeah. Oh, and I'm sure some Yakuza have guns there, but I don't even think that they even usually use guns. But it's funny because it's like... It's funny because having a gun in Japan is a big deal, and like sometimes I'll if I'm playing the game Yakuza, like I was playing with like my girlfriend, like... And like, because there's parts in the game where it's like if they show a gun, it's like it gets really dramatic, like it's supposed to be really shocking that someone has a gun, and I had to explain. I'm just like, this is like this because guns in Japan are really rare, so it's like whenever they show a gun, it's like a really big deal. Am I allowed to show it on stream? I don't think so. happened today won't pass without accountability. Those responsible will pay a price for what happened. This is a promise to the martyrs and the wounded. This is a national commitment. Facts will be revealed about the dangerous warehouse. Oh, they're saying it's from the warehouse. That has been there since 2014. Yeah. Yeah, I am very anti-fascist and therefore Antifa, which is not a terrorist organization. Like, I don't think people get it. When a president calls anti-fascists terrorists, that sounds pretty fucking fascist, don't you think? Like, plus it's like, I don't know if you've seen what was happening in our country, like in Portland, when he was sending out unmarked military police, snatching people up off of the street without identifying themselves, and throwing them into unmarked vans that they rented. That's a thing that was just happening in Portland, Oregon. But yeah, all anti-fascist Antifa is supposed to be is just, you know, there's no hierarchy, there's no leaders, it's just anyone who is against fascism. They don't want their government doing things like what was happening in Portland, or just like, we don't want people killing, we don't want cops killing black people for no reason. You know what I mean? It's like, if that's how you feel, then you're Antifa. Like, that's all that it is. It's not an organization, and they are the opposite of terrorists. They're trying to stop, like, you know, a tyrannical government, like an actively violent, militarized police force. Like, that's all it's supposed to be. And Trump doesn't get that. His actions, he's creating more. He's such a fucking idiot. Yes. Yeah. Like, they're just like, they're trying to stoke violence. And then they're just kind of like, I don't know, like, what the fuck their plan is. It's like, Trump is just like trying to prove that he's tough on crime or something. And he's referring to protesters as anarchists and terrorists and Antifa. And like, it's like, nope, they're just upset that you guys keep killing black people for no fucking reason. And like, but like, not just the police, but it's like random white people are killing black people in this country and just pretty much getting away with it. Like, the Ahmaud Arbery case was insane. Like, I watched that video. Like, there's a video, and you just watch these two fucking rednecks like shooting him down. Dude wasn't armed. He's obviously wearing jogging clothes. And like, nothing happened to those guys until that video went viral. They were just gonna let them go. Yeah, he's a shit businessman. He's more of a dipshit reality TV star. Like, anybody who's into that is fucking just has no value, no human value. Sometimes I like to think that I'm a humanist, but whenever I look at the destruction of, I feel like there's like the most destruction of humanity comes specifically from the American Republicans, the conservatives and GOP. Like, they're destabilizing regions in other countries. They're like supplying other countries with weapons and stuff. They're starting and supporting endless wars. We're a pretty shit country. Yeah. A small loan of $1 million. It's a fucking reject. BBC.
A massive explosion has
BBC's in London, right?
Lebanese capital Beirut, killing at least 70 people and injuring more than 3,700. It's not yet known what caused the explosion, but Lebanon's prime minister says his country is facing a catastrophe and Beirut is in mourning. He vowed to hold to account whoever was responsible. The huge blast at the port sent shockwaves across the city, destroying many buildings and blowing out windows several miles away. Hospitals across the city were quickly overwhelmed. Officials fear the death toll will rise sharply. Here's our Middle East editor, Jeremy Bowen, and just to warn you, his report contains distressing images.
It was a massive explosion.
What?
Another view from the bay. And from the streets.
What happened? Oh my... Oh my God.
It looked as if dozens are dead.
I like that guy's tank top. It just says, yep.
And a country already deep in crisis has been hit by a catastrophe.
I don't know what happened. I was fishing. I heard there was a fire. I turned and started to head home and heard something explode. And then this happened.
This was the fire in Beirut port. The flashes, they say, were fireworks. Then something much bigger ignited.
Yeah, there's no way anyone survived in that building that's right next to it.
Lebanon's interior minister told local media it was ammonium nitrate, which had been stored there since 2014. It can be used as fertilizer or to make explosives. This is downtown Beirut, close to the Parliament building. Since the end of last year, Lebanon has been paralyzed by a political and economic crisis and street demonstrations before the country was gripped by the pandemic. The damage has spread across the city. The shock will run much deeper, and this tragedy risks pushing the Lebanese further into despair.
أعدكم أن هذه الكارثة لن تمر.
Hassan Diab, the Prime Minister, broadcast to the nation. He told them that those responsible would pay the price. Beirut's hospitals, already pressed hard by COVID-19, are faced with hundreds of casualties.
Ugh, man.
We were at home. We heard what sounded like fireworks. We thought it was a container in the port that was on fire. A few seconds later, we were flying through the air.
Lebanon will get international help, which until now its friends have been reluctant to give because of corruption and incompetence in Lebanon's wealthy elite. But public anger, already strong, will demand real change at last if Lebanon's rulers cannot heal the wounded, fix the damage, and punish the guilty. And there is one big question. Who allowed the storage of so much deadly explosive for so long in a warehouse so close to the city centre? Jeremy Bowen, BBC News.
Well, we can go live now to BBC Arabic's Beirut correspondent Karine Torbeh, who's at one of the hospitals treating some of the very many people who've been injured. And the death toll is rising fast, and almost 4,000 people known to have been injured. Describe the scene where you are now.
where I'm standing in front of the emergency gate of one of the hospitals. People are still coming here either to check on their relatives or to check whether their relatives are inside the hospital, because there are still so many people unaccounted for. But just to give you an idea how overwhelmed the hospitals are here and everywhere else in all Lebanon, but mainly in Beirut. I mean, the injured have been brought to hospitals by thousands. They haven't been able to treat them only in rooms. They have brought them to corridors, to offices, everywhere. The whole hospital, every single space in the hospital has been turned into an emergency unit. People are still coming in here. You can see traces of blood all over the floor, and also you can see how distressed and how people are in real shock and panic. Hours after this incident, it's impossible to say what is the final toll, and whether this is, and whether we will see a rising toll throughout the night, because people are still being rushed into hospitals all over the country.
Karine Torbey in Beirut there. Thank you. Well, our Middle East editor, Jeremy Bone, is with me now. Terrible scenes in Beirut. We still don't know what caused this, but as you said in your report, this has come at a very difficult time, very sensitive time for Lebanon.
Yeah, it's an appalling tragedy which has been inflicted now on a country that was already really suffering badly because of an economic collapse, because of a deep-seated political crisis caused by a whole welter of things, by COVID-19, of course. It's been badly hit by that, back into lockdown, hyperinflation, people's savings destroyed, real wages cut, you name it, they've had it, and now they've got this. And then there's the regional context as well. The Israelis very quickly said they had nothing to do with this. Normally they might leave that open if they had, so that sounds credible. The issue with them is the trouble down on the border in the south between Hezbollah, the Lebanese Shia group, close to Damascus, close to Tehran, and the Israelis. They have been locked in their own escalation in recent weeks. Now, this catastrophic explosion in Beirut will have consequences nationally and possibly even regionally if it further destabilizes Lebanon.
Jeremy Bone, our Middle East editor. Thank you.
Even watching the same videos over and over again, it's like, it's still fucking crazy to watch that fucking explosion. It's still insane. That was the best report so far. Good job, BBC. Yeah. I wonder if Reddit has... Usually Reddit has like live updates and has good good news stuff. Like they've got a COVID updater thing. Yeah, yeah, he is like that. He's got the mind span of a child and the speaking patterns and vocabulary of a child. And he gets bored. Actual good quality, nice and crisp. I know we've seen this one a million times. But that is just so insane. Just like, look at what's so crazy about it is like this whole, the ground being raised up in the air, like the ground and the buildings and everything when the explosion comes. It's like he's just like breaking apart and like shooting up in the air. Like it almost looks like a movie. So fucking crazy. But yeah, of course these are like the top posts. Oh yeah, that new interview with Trump was fucking hilarious. I think the interviewer was some guy, I think from your neck of the woods. Throws some hardballs at Trump, and it's fucking beautiful. Such a funny interview. Yeah, the good old days when Obama's suit was the biggest story in the media. Yeah, well, but you see, that's the thing. That's the thing. I believe that Trump knows damn well what they were doing on that island, because there's literal quotes of him talking about Epstein, and there's tons of pictures of him with Epstein and with Maxwell over the years. And there's he literally said out loud, he said something along the lines of he gets along with Epstein so well because he likes beautiful women, and some of them are very young, or something like that. He knows, man. He knows. He's probably even been to that fucking island. I bet you he has. But you know, the only reason why Trump doesn't wouldn't need to go to the island or wouldn't want to is because, you know who he really cares about the most. If he can't go to the island and bang his own daughter, he's not going to go. Like, the one girl who he has the hots for the most in the world is fucking Ivanka. You know it. You know it. Why isn't there... I don't know if you guys use Reddit at all, but they do have really good disaster watches usually going on, but I don't know why there isn't one. Usually there would be. That one is so fucking crazy. Fucking hell. Like, look at the building, the rooftops explode on the building. They just go straight up in the air. On the one on the right. Like it's fucking disintegrating. Crazy. Jesus. Jesus. Sorry. Carl Sagan is the man. If any of you guys don't know who Carl Sagan is, please go watch and read everything with him and about him, because he was the best. One of my favorite authors and astrophysicists and scientists that has ever existed. Science educator, communicator. I know, dude. I watched, oh my fucking god. I was working on Bernie's campaign. I was living in Burlington, Vermont at the time for the 2016 election. And we just were so sure there was no way he was gonna fucking get it. But I mean, technically he did lose the popular vote. So we have, I don't know how it works in England, but we have 2 vote counter things. And so we have the popular vote, which is what the people vote, the people's vote count. And then you have the electoral college, which is like this collective of delegates who kind of act as like a buffer, like since they believe that, I guess, the people aren't smart enough to know to vote properly. So they're voting on our behalf alongside of having a people vote. And he lost the popular vote by like 3 million votes, but he won the electoral college and therefore is now our president. That's kind of how that actually happened. So people didn't really want him. I mean, there was still fucking millions who did vote for him, but I remember that night, it was so shocking and sickening, and I remember protests in the streets all night. And like, it was another night like today, like this right now. Like right now I'm like really into like just finding all the things about this explosion and shit. But it's like that night it was just like, oh my god, I have to watch all of these protests and shit. And like everyone was like right in the streets fucking setting shit on fire. People were so mad. And it's like, I just hope that he saw all that. And I hope he felt so bad about it. Like, I just want that. I just like seeing that man die inside. Like, one of my favorite things that I saw on Reddit recently was, I just like the GIF that someone made. That's the thing, but yeah, so recently he went to like a baseball game and was booed there, and like he's like waving and smiling until he realizes he's being booed, and you watch his face just go from smiling to being, you just watch him die inside, and it's kind of beautiful. But I love these headlines. Trump boos reached almost 100 decibels at Nats game. Crowd chants lock him up at President Trump boos him during World Series game in DC. But I just want to find that specific. I don't know why it wasn't the first thing that came up, because it was on the front page and it had tons of awards. I have to like log in. Let me what was my, I don't remember what my info is. Nope, that's not it. That's it. Go into my profile or my history and find my upvotes, right? How does this work? Upvoted. Yes. Trump slowly realizing that the crowd is booing him. Okay, so just watch him die inside. Just watch his face. Just go from this grin and he's smiling. And just watch the change. He looks like he's about to fucking cry. It's like, are you just now realizing you're a fucking loser? Fucking dickhead. Like, I almost feel bad, like the human in me. It's like, oh man, this fucking guy is just learning that everyone hates him. He's in a stadium surrounded by everyone who fucking hates him. But it's like, good. Good. Give up. Go home. Kill yourself. Fucking useless. Jonathan Swan. Do you know who Jonathan Swan is? Jonathan Swan reveals simple secret to exposing Trump's lies. Basic follow-up questions. I mean, not really. Like, I was aware of him existing, but like, I didn't know anything about him. Like, I hate reality TV, so I never watched his TV show. I hate conservatives, so I don't pay attention to businessmen or anything like that. And so yeah, he was always pretty much entirely off the radar until he started running for president. And then when he did, and it was immediately apparent that he should not be doing that, and especially thanks to all the people who were just like exposing all the insane shit that he has said, it's just like mind-numbing that, like, it's mind-numbing that anybody even supports him. And it sucks that there's even people in my family who like somehow actually believe that he's a good person doing good things for the people of this country, which will never be a thing. Like, he is like the most stereotypical businessman conservative. He will only be like, the only people who will benefit from him being in office is people who are the richest, whitest people in the country, or people who are like people of color but who are also somehow white nationalists, you know, which there unfortunately is a ton of. Fucking ridiculous. Like Diamond and Silk. Oh my god, the fuck are those ladies thinking? Aw, look at that little rat. Oh, good. Patriot Front founder arrested. Lock him up. So, Patriot Front is like a big, like, neo-Nazi, group in this country, and they're, like, all over the country, and they pretty much, like... How old was this kid? Like, 17 when he started it? This young-ass kid started a fucking, a nationwide neo-Nazi movement. Okay, well, that's nice that he's against drugs, I guess. But then again, he's so retarded he might even think that he might even mean prescribed medication. Some people are like that. Some people don't believe in Science. Okay, so he's 21 now. Ever get into massive arguments regarding politics with your family? Yes. Last night. No, I don't think I've heard about the aunt who snitched on her nephew. As its name implies, Patriot Front cloaks itself in red, white, and blue patriotism in an effort to soften its toxic racism. Which is kind of how most American white supremacist groups are. Like, they pretend to be all about American patriotism, but their fundamental ideals are just anti people of color. Like, their idea of a perfect America is a pure white nation. Yeah, good. Hopefully this kid just like... I hope that he gets sent to a prison where there's not very many white people and they all recognize who he is and absolutely beat him the fuck to death. There's definitely... that should happen. Oh... But yeah, what's this aunt thing about? How is this best of public pranks mixed in with this explosion? Oh, the Young Turks. This is one of my favorite little news sources here. Especially this guy, John Iadarola.
Like many people, I discovered this morning on Twitter trending a massive, incredibly disturbing video of an explosion going on in Beirut. And I want to show you a few of the early angles, and we're going to work through what it appears actually happened. But here is some of the footage that was so shocking.
Jesus. So much noise happening at my complex today.
Wow, and so you can see there the mushroom cloud-esque expansion circle. You have the shockwave literally shattering windows relatively far away. I can only imagine if I was one of those individuals living in Beirut, you must have thought, no, we've been struck by some sort of massive weapon.
Yeah, that's scary. Even to watch it is scary.
It's horrifying. Yeah, I've seen tons of video. There's a lot of angles out there because there had been a fire for a while.
I didn't hear about that.
So people were filming it.
Oh.
People, yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But people like wanting to film it, and then this massive explosion seemingly coming out of nowhere, shattering the glass around them falling, their cameras turning off. Like, it must have been terrifying at the time. Now, the earliest word I saw was from Lebanon's state-run news agency saying a large explosion in Beirut was the result of a fire at a warehouse for firecrackers. Now, I have been talking about international news for long enough. What's that?
It reminds me of a Simpsons episode or something.
It does. It's a tragedy in this case, but it seemed way too clean. And that seems like the sort of story that is put out. However, as I noted here, I don't have sources in Beirut, but I have a source that has sources in Beirut.
Oh, it's 2:20 a.m. there? Jeez.
That it is
oh yeah, that's right. You're on the other side of the world.
Inside of their intelligence, their military, stuff like that say.
Well, I appreciate you staying up and hanging.
Accident. That does not mean it was an accident in a firecracker warehouse. However, as more information has come out,
6:17 p.m. for me.
That the initial information that was provided seems roughly true, because if you take a look at this video from before the massive explosion,
Or 1817 if you go by 24-hour time.
Right.
See a ton.
All the pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really hear it, like all the...
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, and that person could have been blown off that
Wow.
balcony. So yeah, you see a ton of little mini explosions. They were pretty far, yeah. But you can see also there, it's in a port. New information coming out implies that it
All right,
was...
yeah, thanks for coming and hanging. And yeah, I'll see you soon. And thanks for the follow.
Actually a ship loaded with fireworks or things like that docking in a place where they're stored. And the thing is, while it seems crazy, a warehouse filled with fireworks is effectively a warehouse filled with gunpowder, effectively. And if there was a fire, it could have lit those off. It could have set off some sort of gas main or something like that. There are a lot of things that could potentially explode. There have been massive warehouse and chemical plant explosions in the US that have been very, scary as well in recent years. We do believe... according to NBC News, there were images of people trapped under rubble, some bloodied.
Oh my God.
And I have heard, prior to us going live, maybe it's been confirmed since, that there are deaths, although I don't know that those have been officially acknowledged yet.
I had done a search and I wasn't able to find those numbers either, but it's horrific that people were so hurt. I was hoping that because there was a fire preceding the explosion that people were able to get away.
That was exactly my hope too. But my source says that there are deaths. I don't know that they've been numbered or acknowledged publicly yet, but it's possible that has happened in the last hour while we've been filming. But anyway, even if this is everything that they say it is, a complete accident, it looks like people have lost their lives and been injured. It must have been terrifying for people living in that city. Obviously a city with a long history of really tragic violence of this sort of unrest. So feel awful.
So you don't think, John, I mean, I know that there have been protests going on. Obviously, my first reaction was like, okay, is this related to that? But you're saying no relation at all.
I mean, look, I am not an expert in this area. I am being connected with an expert working in Beirut that's going to come on the show. So I am naturally cynical. However, people I trust who are far better experts in that region than me say that this is not connected to ongoing issues there.
Accidents happen.
But we don't know. This is what we're just reporting, the initial information. Maybe we'll find out more, in the near future. It's enough of a tragedy as of right now. Perhaps it will turn out to have been an even worse one. And people in the chat I see a few people talking about Halifax. Apparently a munitions ship blew up and leveled the city effectively. So it has, but that's obviously far larger, but similar sort of situation. Yeah, just terrifying.
Well,
I imagine looking out your window.
I will watch your interview tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep. Y'all should go give TYT on YouTube a follow if you like to see people talking about the news and people who are much smarter and much more resourceful than me. Because I'm nothing. I'm nothing. You guys know that? Okay. So that has been pretty insane. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to, ironically, play some more Fallout and try to live in a situation where the whole world has experienced this stuff. So, yeah, I will be back. I'm going to actually, I'm going to restart the stream. So, to you guys who are still here, you might have to refresh it. but hopefully not. Hopefully it'll just auto start for you, because I'm going to stop it, change my stream settings, because I export my my gameplay videos to YouTube, so it just makes it easier for me, so I don't have to cut them. I'm going to put my headphones in and everything, which if I do it while I'm streaming, it fucks things up. And we're going to play Fallout 4. So stick around, you sexy bastards.